Right, so something I'd like to clarify before this video even starts, and I know it's a long one, and I know no one will watch the whole thing. If you do, thank you a whole lot in advance. Either way, what I'd like to say before this video starts is that this was made about, I think, 3 months ago. And that might not sound like a whole lot of time, but since then I have come to realization my next video will probably be me going back on some of the statements I made in this video, but I still think that many of the things I say in this video very much still apply, and I think that this is a very much a valid watch. So even though I will go back on some statements, I will upload this. I think you should watch it, etc. So keep in mind this was 3 months ago, this was a bit ago, but it was made in November of last year. But once more, there's a lot of stuff that still very much applies, so it's not like it's invalid because of this. So do watch it, but keep that in mind. That's what I'm saying. And also it gets very sad at the end for some reason. It made sense at the time, it very much doesn't right now. It's also ironic because I mentioned it's gonna be the third video of the 3-video thing that didn't even end up happening, which is part of the issue, which I'm trying to resolve. And it's a long story short, take this with a grain of salt, but do take it, okay? That's the message here. Hello. That was a strange start to this video, but this is I suspect that this will be a very long video. But I feel like I will also explain a lot, and I've also come to a conclusion of sorts. When thinking about all this, we'll see if it feels even more that way or less that way when I actually say it all. Because I've thought about this a bit, but I haven't really said it out loud. Because why would I do that? Today, what even is... This is a strange one. This is a strange one, right? Because it's about the channel, but it's not directly about the channel, you know. This is the right bot, yes. So basically, the idea is I could get suggestions. I want to say that I get suggestions, but I don't, because I'm too small of a channel. But I could get suggestions for what to do, how to do things, how to improve, basically. So, constructive criticism. But the thing is, I have a tendency to shut down constructive criticism, not because it's, you know, not because I don't want to take it in, but because it looks like something's radioactive in here. You see the little dots on the camera? I wish I had a Geiger counter right now. Okay, maybe that's not exactly how it looks when something's radioactive, but I feel like there are little dots on the camera. Maybe they will disappear when the recording is done. Maybe I'm just real radioactive right now. Either way. What was I saying? Yes. I want to answer questions about criticism you could potentially give, right? These are suggestions that you could, in theory, ask, and that I will answer right here, right now, so that you do not need to ask them in the future. You know, situations can change, so you may still... I'm not forbidding you from suggesting anything or saying anything or the like, but I'm still saying that I will be answering them here. And I think they will shed light on how I see my channel and how I see everything, really. So here are suggestions. I said none of these will or won't happen. I'm just answering them the best I can at the moment. My viewpoint as of right now. Things can change. Things can always change. But I'm saying right now, this is what I'm thinking. This is something I said later on in the video, but I threw back here because it was important to say it earlier. One, there is probably gonna be more Podrock in the future. I'm quite certain. Two, I am demoting the old Podrock playlist to Podrock Season 1, because the second part will be Season 2. I think this is the first time I officially say this, but I feel like everyone know when I say everyone knows it, I mean the people who will actually care already know. Yeah, so that's that. I might also make a new playlist called Podrock Season 0, because they're like the episodes or the videos I made which inspired the Podrock to begin. So I've written a lot of these down, and we'll see how long this takes. The first one is hire an editor. Because if I did that takes away a majority of the work with this. It takes away the most annoying work. It's just the fun part. And here's the thing with editing. I don't really like it, because you just have to re-experience something you have already done, possibly like 3 more times, plus doing little tiny things here and there. And I don't want to do that. That's not very fun. I feel like it takes a lot of time, and it could be spent on other things, basically. But there are exceptions. There are times when editing is actually fun, which is when, without the editing, there is no video. What does this mean? This means that when the entire concept of a video doesn't work without editing, then and only then is editing fun. So like the one I uploaded very recently, the one I love subtle foreshadowing, that one. The entire joke of that video is the editing. Without the editing, it doesn't work at all. And that is when it's fun to edit. That one was fun to edit, because without the editing, there was no... Well, there was a joke. I fell from the chair. That's a legit thing. But through the editing, I turned it into a new joke. And in that moment, it is fun to edit. Now, you could say you shouldn't be doing the Podrock then, because that's the opposite of what you like. But we're getting to that. So that's when it's fun to edit, right? But as you may notice, most of my videos are not like that. Most of my videos are the complete opposite. Most of my videos are long-ass videos that I need to rewatch once, twice, or possibly even 3 times. And whatever with, you know? I barely even touch them, but I still need to edit them, because otherwise I may reveal something I don't want to reveal, or show a password or some stupid thing like that, you know? And censor something I said or which happened or whatever, you know? And so I could hire an editor. But, and while I am actually, believe it or not, tempted to do this, despite the size of my channel, I am tempted to do this, there are a couple issues. Number 1, I am not monetized, hence I will just be bleeding money if I do this. You could say that it's a risk you can take, that you can hire an editor prematurely. Before you even get money from your channel, you can hire an editor, and then that's a risk you take, and then maybe it's easier for you to make it. The issue is that I'm not the biggest fan of taking risks in general. And so I don't think, once more, as of right now, I'm not planning on doing that. Number 2, because there's another problem. Whoever I potentially would hire, I need to trust. Then I started talking about finances, and I decided to cut that. Not necessary. Actually, even bad. And the issue is, I don't want someone to work for me, like 3 months, take the money and run. Because what am I gonna do at that point? Then I'm stuck again. Then I'm back at then I'm back at square one, right? So not only is it necessary that this person doesn't run away, it's also necessary that this person doesn't leak anything. So you need to trust the integrity of their work. You also need to trust the integrity of the person in of themselves, because they could leak anything, you know, personally, not just, intentionally. And I also need to feel comfortable with, for instance, if my mask falls off. I need to be comfortable with showing this random person on the internet my face then, which I'm not with most people, right? So that's the issue. Money and trust, basically. And neither of these are easy to get. And so I am tempted, but I will not do it at the moment when it comes to hiring an editor. That was the first one. There are many of these I wrote down. But I think it will vary a bit with how long they take. The next one is get a better camera. Because as you can see, this one is pretty bad. Well, the thing is, that's another situation of I'm only bleeding money. Once more, it's a risk. I don't like to take risks, that stuff. There's also the point with the fact that I'm trying to create a quote-unquote podcast. I know it's a strange one, and I know it probably doesn't really work like most podcasts do, but it is some kind of podcast nonetheless. And here's the thing. What's the difference between a podcast and a video? That a podcast is supposed to be focused on sound. I have a pretty good microphone, I think. And the sound doesn't need to be that good because it's supposed to be a podcast. Basically, the visuals are only secondary and not primary, and hence this works. If it works, it works. That's one of the philosophies I have. I have many philosophies. The other one is otherwise improved visuals. Now, I will say, I am probably gonna do this in the future. And actually, now I need to do some editing, because now I need to throw around some things. Right, now I got that out of the way. I am sort of planning on improved visuals in the next season. I have not begun editing it yet, but I actually have a lot of it recorded. Most of it, I believe, I have recorded, because I want to have, I think, 8 videos as a standard, because I had my last time 1 and 8. So I had at least 8 videos in the next season, and then at least 8 in the next season. Come on. And then maybe more if I have the time, ideas, etc. You know how it is. But I will start uploading once a week, but I want to finish 8 episodes before starting uploading them. That's the plan. And I am thinking, I have some ideas of improved visuals for the next one, but it's far from anything groundbreaking. And we'll see how it will be received. We'll see. It will probably not change the statistics. Here's the thing. If you have low expectations from the start, it's hard for your expectations to be shattered. And that's another philosophy I have. We'll see how many philosophies I cover this time around. I think we'll have more. The next one is better editing. Here's the thing. First off, I am rather incapable. I am not good at this. I've already gone over hiring an editor and all that. That's number 1. Number 2, regarding the visuals, that will require some editing. But I'm also trying to keep this quite bare bones, because that's the style of this. And also, if it wasn't bare bones and I still made videos that were like 30 minutes to an hour long, then that would require a lot of editing. And I don't even like putting time in that now. So I think you can imagine how extremely excruciating that would be if I actually did that for all of that time. And I had proper editing as well. And like, I know there are times where I'm just silent, and there are pauses and everything. I look at my own videos. I need to. And basically, you'll have to live with that, because that's, once more, the style of a podcast. That's the style that I'm going for, etc. I just want to check. I would be surprised if this isn't recording. The next one is better thumbnails. I'm guessing that I will improve with time. But I also find it difficult, and I also use... Some of you might not believe this, but what I use for my thumbnails is PowerPoint. I use PowerPoint, and then I make a slide, which is the thumbnail, and then I export the slide as an image to my computer, and I take that image and I put it onto YouTube, and that's how I make my thumbnails, and hence they will be strange. But here's the thing. In the YouTube space, strange isn't always bad. Strange can actually be better than normal, because strange gets clicks, and clicks get views, and views is ultimately essentially the goal. Has it worked so far? No, not really. But I don't think they're not horrible. I think my first thumbnails, they were horrible. But that's because I didn't even make any thumbnails. I just try to... Sometimes I even tried to, like, make what I intended as the thumbnail when I was editing, so that I would, like, take a screenshot at that moment in the video, and then make sure that that moment is the thumbnail when it is time to make the thumbnail. So I made the thumbnail in the video so that you would... Yeah, it's complicated. But I think you can see it in certain videos. I remember one of my Half-Life videos, I wrote like, oh, it's a helicopter. Oh, you can see the thumbnail right now, which doesn't make sense on a thumbnail. That's because the thumbnail happens in the video. It's complicated. But yeah, I will probably improve with time, but I'm also using PowerPoint, so bear with me. The next one is music, and I think I meant background music with this. Basically, that's more editing, and you know what I said about editing, so that's one thing about that. The other thing is finding non-copyright music that actually fits is almost impossible. And personally, I also feel like I don't just want to take any copyright music, like non-copyright music out there. I want to take music which I actually find decent, you know? Hence, I have a quite small collection of non-copyright songs, which is because most non-copyright songs, they're pretty bad, you know? They're pretty bad, and so I ignore them. I only get the good ones, and that makes it so that there's a very small pool, and that makes it so that there are very few situations where any of them actually work, and yeah. The next one is more coherent. And with this, I believe I mean that I should speak more coherently. That I shouldn't ramble on like I do right now. But the issue with this, you know what that is? That is that I can't be coherent. I can be coherent, but not like... I'm very much doing this on the fly, right? I'm going at it. I don't have a script. I have written some things down, but I just write a word or a couple words. Here are the points that I've already spoken about, or some of them at least. And that's all I write. I don't write a long description. I say, this is what I want you to talk about. Now take a couple of minutes to talk about it. And that's what I do. And when you do it this way, what happens is that there are several things that this leads to. One of them is that it becomes a bit of a rambling, like you see. But another one is that it's also a bit more genuine. Like, you can write... Like, I don't think that making a script makes it, doesn't make it genuine anymore. But I also feel like making it spontaneous and genuine is sort of connected, but not the same. And I'm sort of going for the spontaneous route. I could loosely script some things, but if I'm going to script a video, which once more is 30 minutes to an hour, that's another part of the process which will not be all that fun, which will take forever. And actually, some parts of what I have written here can actually be summarized to something. And this is actually one of the major points, and this is another philosophy of mine. This is one of the major points why I'm saying any of this. If you're going to take anything away from this video, take this main part out. Something which I try to evaluate in my actions is reward and work. If these two line up, then it's probably a good idea. If the reward is unproportional to the work, so that you get more reward for less work, then that sounds like a good idea. If you get less reward for more work, then doesn't that sound like a bad idea? So why should I spend hours on making a video nobody will watch? That's the idea. That I don't want to put in a lot of work in this right now, at least, because there is no reward. Now, once more, you could say, but if you put in more work, you will get more reward. But that's never guaranteed. That's never guaranteed in the YouTube space. If I was working in a regular office or something, and I put in overtime, then I believe that a higher reward is guaranteed. But that is not the case here. I could put in twice as much work in a video and get half the views. You never know. And so I think I'm going to stay with what I'm doing for now in that part. I would also like to add here that you could argue that to finish a video in it of itself is a form of reward, but that is only the case when you have truly made an astounding end product, when you've turned nothing into something. I'm turning nothing into nothing right now, and I know that may sound harsh, but I'm not doing anything groundbreaking. If I made content which actually felt like it had a bit more value, a bit more substance to it, then perhaps that would be a valid argument. But I don't feel like it truly applies in my case, and it's really a matter of how I perceive it, and I don't really see my end products as being all that good. Even though that may sound a bit harsh on myself, it is ultimately true. Yes, the next one is commentary. And I believe what I meant with this was like, become a commentary channel. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna claim that I despise those channels, but especially some of them, I think you can agree, are a little on the fence, if you know what I'm saying. Like, they are taking news of some strange variety and saying them to you, except instead of saying them in 1 minute, they say them in 20 minutes. It feels strange, is all. There is this one channel, I don't remember its name, I'll figure it out, I'll put it in the description, which takes, where you can submit, I want this video, please, and then this channel will take like a 20-minute video and turn it into a literal 1-minute video. I'm not kidding. It summarizes them. I'm not sure if it does it like super good. Like, I haven't really cared to watch the long one since there's a shorter version. But I think the summarizes are pretty good, and I feel like, once more, the regular commentary channels, they are a little bit on the fence, if nothing else, you know. And so that's a little recommendation from me. Maybe check that channel out. I don't know. So, and I don't really want to sink to the commentary level. I feel like there's a certain issue with that. Like, it doesn't feel right. I wouldn't really feel good doing that. I think that I prefer doing whatever this is. The next one is get famous people on it. When I say on it, I obviously mean this dick. Just kidding, I obviously meant the Podrock. Yes. The problem with this is quite obvious. But there are actually two problems. There's one which is the obvious problem, but there are actually two problems. The obvious problem is that I am not famous, and so it's borderline impossible for me to get famous people on it. That's just the nature of the internet. If I had 100k, then I could easily get someone with below 100k, and I could probably even get some with 1 million or more. But I am not in a situation where I have 100k. I believe I have 102 subscribers. Not Ks, but subscribers. And hence, that will simply not work. Maybe, you never know. If I get it, but I still think that I'm way too small to get anyone on here. It simply will not work. I have a couple guests already. I have recorded episodes with guests. I can say it is guests with plural. There is more than one episode coming with guest or several, with a guest or several. So that's pretty interesting. You may speculate. Maybe you are one of them. Actually, chances are that you are if you're watching this. Yeah, that's the major issue. The smaller issue, and this is something which I don't think everyone thinks about. When you make a video, you must think about when you want to make the video. Do I want to make a video which I find to be my magnum opus today, or when my channel is at its peak? Do you understand what I'm saying here? If you want to reach out to people, should you really make something that important to you in the beginning of your career? Or shouldn't you wait until you've grown so that more people will actually see it? Hence, if I get someone famous on now, which I know for a fact that I will never get again, then what's the point? No one will even watch the video. That's another issue with that. The next point is branch out. I sorta did during these 3 videos. Wasn't really intentional. I originally was thinking. Now it sounds like I wrote a script. I was writing notes for what I was wanting to do during time. Then I said 2 videos, which was actually the first one and this one, because I didn't realize that I could make the second one. But then I realized, oh no, they would be pretty fun to make the second one, so I did. And I would say the second one is almost branching out, and it got pretty good views, at least. Well, with my standards. But the thing with branching out is, 1, what would I even do? 2, I want to focus on the Podrock. Like, I feel like there is potential there. For me, I tried gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, I'm too bad. I enjoy playing video games. I still play video games, but I don't think that I'm particularly good at it. If you want to see me do other things, you should actually check out other channels. Or, if you're lazy, you can actually go to my channel, because I have a playlist with videos where I'm in them, but they're not on my channel. Believe it or not. I've actually appeared on multiple other channels. I believe like 3 or 4, 5 possibly even. Several is my point. And so, maybe you should check that out. Actually, okay, pause for a moment. I just realized a video which might not be on there, which should be on there. I am checking that out. Hold on, I can also, yes, branch out. Probably not gonna happen. I like the way this is working. I like the Podrock. I think it's great. I think I kind of want to say I've found my calling. I wouldn't call it that, but like, if there's one thing that this channel is good for, it's the Podrock. There is also one thing which I am planning on doing sometime. I do not know when. All I know is I want to do it. Once I really don't know when it will happen. If it will, I don't really know if it will happen either. But there's one thing I really want to do. If it happens, you will know it. Let me say that much. If it happens, you will very much know it. So yeah, there is one branching out thing that I want to do. I'm just saying the same thing over and over. There's one branching out thing I want to do. If it happens, you will know it. But I cannot assure that it will happen. But honestly, I believe it will happen. But I don't know when. It's probably in quite the time from this point. That didn't even make sense. It will be in quite some time. So let's see here. No, I have not added that video. Then I will need to fix that. No, but no. Okay, the next point is called get more socials. And this one there, now it's in. And this one is one which I'm personally quite divided in, and is one of those that I feel like could most definitely change in the future, because I barely used social media. Okay, it depends on what you consider social media. I use YouTube quite a lot, but I don't use Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I had to... Never mind. Anything. I barely anything. I use Discord. Out of all the things, I use Discord, Snapchat, YouTube. I think that's it. Yeah, and I'm not creating a Snapchat channel. That's not happening. Or like whatever stories, official stories as Dogrock. I'm not creating a second account because it's my personal account. I'm not creating a Dogrock Snapchat account. That's ridiculous. That's just not happening. TikTok, I don't even use it. Instagram, I don't even use it. Twitter or X, I don't even use it. Like, my point is, I don't really have anything. I could do it, but I don't think I will. Because I really, really don't want to. I am happy with the way it is. I'm fine with just being a YouTube channel. I probably have a Twitch channel as well, but I don't use Twitch. And I haven't used that in a long time. I think I streamed like once and the stream was broken. Because of course it was. Yeah. Probably not happening, but we'll see. Is what I'm saying. The next... Okay, we're getting to the strange ones, because the next one is just clickbait. Now, this is also a question of definition. Hear me out. This is also a question of definition, because what is a thumbnail but not bait so that you will click on the video? I think you're following. I sincerely believe that you're following. What is a thumbnail but not something to make you want to click on the video? That's all a thumbnail is. So isn't a thumbnail in its core clickbait? So I don't even know, what would I even clickbait with? Like, oh, talking on the Podrock, parentheses, I died. Like, what? What am I even supposed to... It doesn't make sense. I can't... With the content I'm making, I don't think clickbait even works. Unless I wrote, like, parentheses, I cried. Which has never happened on the channel. Now I need to think, has it happened on the channel? No, I'm surely not. I don't even know when that would have happened on the channel. No, but clickbait. For some reason, when I thought about this, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do it. But it's like, what would I even do? It doesn't even make sense for what I do. It's if I make some wacky ass thumbnail, that's one thing. If you want to get clicks, here's what you do, and this is a little marketing secret for you. If you want to get clicks, what you do? You put women in the thumbnail, preferably not that many clothes on. That's how you get clicks. Then you may wonder, Dogrock, why haven't you done that then? Well, I haven't been in a position where that makes sense. And I don't think this is another situation of I could see myself kind of doing that, I guess. But I just don't think I will. I also think that I would feel a little bad doing that. So it's another probably not, but we'll see type of situation. But that's a marketing secret for you. Trust me, it works. They get so many clicks. Okay, next one. Be crazier. I feel like... Okay, here's the thing. I try to be genuine. Like, obviously I hide my face. I don't tell you everything about myself, because then you would know who I am, or you would be able to figure it out, or whatever. My point is that I try to be genuine. I try to be myself, but not all of myself, if that makes sense. And I think that what happens when the camera starts rolling, it's been awfully normal this video, is that just like when one of your friends pull up, if you have friends, when someone pulls up, with a phone and says, "Yo, Darren, do something," then what you do is that you're like, "Oh," you get a little crazy for the camera. I'm not calling it natural instinct or like a biological effect or something, but I think there's something to that, right? Like, I feel like we all amplify everything a bit more, go a little bit crazier whenever the cameras are rolling, whichever cameras they are. And I think the same thing happens for me when this camera is rolling. I think it's the same effect, but I don't try to be someone different. I don't actively think, "Oh, I gotta be Dogrock instead of insert name," But I feel like I probably amplify everything a bit. And I have, on several occasions, I believe, said that I feel a little crazy. The mask makes me crazy, which is true. Well, not that the mask makes me crazy, but I think it's the camera effect. I don't think it's a lack of oxygen or something like that. Yeah. I don't try to be too strange, but I try to be genuine. That's the answer to the question. The question was be crazier, and the answer is I'm trying to be genuine in general, but I think I get a little crazy and such. And I think we'll just have to live with that. I'm fine with that, and I believe you are as well. And yes, these are strange. The next one is have something which sets you apart. If someone said this to me, I would be almost a little offended, like, okay. And honestly, I feel like I have some, like, I get that I don't have everything. Otherwise, my views would probably look better, okay? But what sets me apart is, number one, my brain, my mind. I do not think the same as anyone else. Like, it's probably similar to a lot of people, but it's not the same. And I feel like mine in particular might be a little strange, which is a good thing in the YouTube space, as I said previously. Like, certain things are actually quite good in the YouTube space that would not be good in other situations. It sounds like I'm a serial killer, That's not what I'm trying to imply. I'm just trying to say that being a little strange can be good for the clicks. The second thing which sets me apart is the horrible quality of this. Like, it being bad can be good. Get what I'm saying there? Like, I'm not sure if this effect actually works. It's just something I'm thinking that would kind of work. Like, I would be curious to click on my videos. If I saw a video with like 5 views with the strange ass thumbnails that I used, and it's like, what is the Podrock? What am I seeing? What is this? Like, so that's a reaction I have, or probably would have if I didn't know what this was, and hence, if it works on me, it should work on other people as well, right? Unless I'm very strange, but I don't think that's the case. Well, I am strange. I do admit to that, but I don't think it's that bad. Like, it's not that bad,
I didn't watch this far before I called it bad before, and I honestly agree with my past self more than my present self right now, which doesn't even make any sense. But okay, hear me out. It isn't that bad. I do have a point with saying that. It isn't that bad. But it isn't that good either, so like, it evens out. But basically, it isn't that bad. Maybe I would watch it. Maybe I would watch Conan, but I can't really answer for sure because I made it, so I'm biased. I don't know. it's a weird discussion. It isn't a weird discussion. It's just that it's hard to think. It's hard to put your mind in that space, or maybe even impossible. Probably impossible. Anyways, let's go on with past me yapping.
So yeah, I feel like I have some things, but it's not like, oh, I cosplay as a gnome. Now I don't think gnomes would get particularly many clicks. I think you would need something hotter, like a vampire or a centaur or a minotaur. I don't think. I mean, their faces are usually like the faces of oxes, so it wouldn't really be that hot, would it? Either way, what I'm saying is, I feel like I have some things, but there are probably like crazier things that could hit harder than what I'm doing right now. But I don't really know how would I even do that. I can't. What would I even do? Well, it's where I'm trying to be like genuine and such, so I don't really know what I could do to set me apart. Maybe you have a recommendation. Maybe this is where you step into the picture. Something else unique is that I'm alone on a podcast, speaking to myself, essentially. Like, I know that I'm pointing on the camera, but I'm usually looking at myself on the screen. I'm usually not looking up here, am I? I'm usually looking down here, which is when I'm looking at myself on the screen. Like, how is this an activity that I spend time on? But this is not an activity that I spend time on. I am here now. I am doing this now, and that's the deal. That's the scoop. Such is the situation. The next thing which I wrote is speak Swedish, because if it isn't already apparent, or I haven't yapped about it enough, or this is the first video you watch, in that case, welcome. I am Swedish. I live in Sweden. I have all my life. And so I speak Swedish. However, as you have noticed, I have not spoken a single word of Swedish this video. Why? Well, there's a simple explanation for this, which is reach. If you speak Swedish, how many people do you think will understand you? Now, I want you to take a moment to actually consider this, because this country, Sweden, has, actually, I can say approximately 11 million at this point, because we're approaching 11 million, which, for an American, or a Brit, or most other countries probably, isn't all that much. It's not that much. We also have Finland, believe it or not. There's a Swedish-speaking minority there. Say, 10%. Okay, more people understand Swedish than actually speak it as a first language, and I think it's, I don't remember how many percentages it is that speak it as a first language. I don't have the numbers, but there's a minority in Finland as well. It is a minority, mind you. A minority, mind you. I don't know what that was. So maybe 1 million more. It's probably less. Like the Swedish speakers. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, okay? But say another million there. We're up to 12 million. And then throw in 2 more millions that live abroad somewhere else. I don't even know what that would be. I don't know what people that would be. We're up to... What did I even say? I think we're up to 14 million. Okay. How many people speak English? I think a bit more than 14 million, eh? How many live in the US alone? That's like 400 million. Now, granted, not every one of those probably speaks English as a first language, or possibly even at all. But I'm willing to... I could bet... I know I don't like taking risks, but I could bet money on this much. More than 14 million people in the US speak English. I think that's a pretty safe bet, okay? I could bet quite a big sum on that, okay? So yeah, the simple answer is reach. I made a long tangent about that. Completely unnecessary, but I made it anyway. The next one... I wrote it like this: show your face. No, I will not. At this time, I will not. I'm not planning on making a face reveal. I'm not like, oh, 1 million subscriber special face reveal. No, that's not the plan. once more, plans can change. I'm not promising anything. That's what I started this video with. Not really, but sorta. Yeah, I'm not planning on showing my face anytime at all, really. But once more, plans can change. Maybe I will sometime. I will not show my face. No, you will know me as Dogrock. You will know me as what you see on the screen right now, and you will obey. I don't know what that was. Anyways, the next one is pretty good, if you ask me. The last one was show your face. I want to point that out. The next one is show your dick. I make no promises in one direction or the other. But it would probably get some views before it got shot down. It would probably get some views. Start an OnlyFans. If I did that... I mean, it's the kind of thing that I feel like everyone has considered. Because it feels like free money, isn't it? But, like, I've also heard that it could be quite the pipeline. That you start off with feet pics, and you end up being human trafficked. So maybe I don't want to enter that pipeline. I'm in enough as it is. Enough pipelines. Enough pipes. Not very funny. You start off with feet pics, and you end up being human trafficked. The next one is called gameplay with visuals. No. Gameplay or something as visuals. That's what it was. Now, my initial reaction to this is that I don't really like the videos that... Like, I find it a bit I don't know how to describe this actually, but I don't... My initial reaction when a channel does this is to be repelled. Like, it's another one of these. Why'd you put the gameplay on there, eh, boy? Why'd you put the gameplay on there? I don't know what that accent is. I'm trying to do like, I'm walking over here. Why'd you put some gameplay over there, boy? Why'd you do this? You fucking... Nah, they don't say that. And also, I have to blur that. So it doesn't even... You don't even hear the way I say it. It doesn't even make sense. My initial reaction is always like, ugh. I don't really like it. It feels brain rotted, you know? It feels like, this is decreasing my attention span. But, you know, something pretty to look at when someone rambles in your ears might not always be that bad of a thing. And I play games. I also don't really play any games which would make sense in that context. So maybe I just use the same gameplay clip in 5 videos. I mean, it would work. Either way, that's a strange way to say maybe, because that's very much how I feel. It's a strange maybe. The next one is called More Guests. I mean, I'm trying to do that the next season. And so we'll see how that performs. We'll see how that does. And if it turns out that my guest videos are my absolute worst videos, then I will probably not do that as much. I don't want the views to control me too much. I do want to have some free will in all this. But you also have to listen to them at least a little bit, you know? If you want to have any chance of making it, you need to listen to them something, you know? But I can't listen to them too much, and I am planning on more guests, and I think it will help. But yeah. The next one is called Proper Trailers, and I honestly don't really know what I meant with this. I guess that my trailers are terrible. Have I even made any trailers? What? Why did I write this? Proper trailers. I mean, I'm still not a big fan of editing, and a trailer does require quite a bit of editing. But it's also the kind of thing that a trailer can be like a minute, and it's fine. And I could probably do something good if all the, it had to be just a minute long. That's possible. So I don't even know why I wrote this. So yeah, sure, man. The next one is be funnier. Here's the thing. I actually have had plans for how to handle the guests, which I haven't really done. How many guest videos have I made so far that are like published? I think one. No, yes, one. Yeah, I have an idea, but I haven't really realized it yet, for whatever reason, and so it doesn't. I don't know. And obviously this is a joke, and this is another joke for me to say be funnier, because how can you be funnier? Like, how can you just decide I woke up funny today? I woke up. That feels like a sound of some guy. I woke up. I don't know where it's from. I woke up. The sun was shining. I took a walk with my dog. He's and I watched The Shining. I ran the same word with the same word. So that's awesome. The next one is, and this one is pretty awesome, have controversy. Why did I write this? Basically, there is the idea of what is the saying? Because there is a saying about this. All news is good. Good news. All publication is good publication. Something like that. Basically, the idea is if there is exposure, even if it is technically shedding a negative light on you, it is exposure nonetheless, and more or less free marketing, like free ads. Every commentary channel is essentially an ad for EDP 445. But then again, nobody watches EDP 445. I don't even think he makes videos anymore, because he's a terrible person. So, I think that doesn't really work anymore. Or anymore. I don't think that might have worked in certain contexts, but when it comes to the YouTube space, you actually got to be extra careful so that you don't have any controversy instead. Because if you have too big of a controversy, you are done for. And that would suck. That would suck. The next one is holiday-specific videos. Here's the thing. Maybe. I don't know. Considering the content that I make, aka the Podrock, I don't really know what a holiday-specific video would be. Now, okay, I will say this. I debated in my head whether I should or shouldn't say this. I do think it would be fun to make April Fool's videos. I would think that would be sincerely funny, because I already have plans for that, and I've had plans for a long time. Obviously, since it is November now. But this is a piece of paper, like a regular ass. Now it looks like now this suddenly became weird. This is a regular piece of paper. I think you can see that, like, there are some stains here over there. It's because I keep stained paper around. You know, if you have drinks on your desktop or your desk. If you have drinks on your desk, it's good to have paper around, because if you accidentally do something stupid, or I have certain drinks where when I screw the lid off, they tend to leak. And what I do is that I take this and I have one of those on the bottom so that it won't end up all over my desk. It's called being prepared. That's why I have tissue. No, this is just a piece of paper. No, it's not just a bit. I don't know what to call it. I don't think it's quite tissue. I don't think it's quite paper. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Either way, that's the purpose of this. Yes. Where was I? Holiday specific videos, April Fools. Yes, I have plans for April Fools. I think it would be kind of funny to make. But I haven't made any. Of course not. I think I even knew of my plans way before last April Fools. I actually had an idea as well. What if no, I'm not even gonna say that. What date is it today? I need to check this. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ignore it all. Pow. I don't know. That was another strange joke. Holiday specific videos, yeah, probably. The next one is also another strange one. Find a way to buy yourself favors in the algorithm. What? What? I wrote this. Granted, it was a long time ago. There are several messages here that I sent. The first one was made about a month ago. But still, like, what have I written? What was the find a way to buy yourself favors in the algorithm? What? Okay. I have thought about how I could spend money to spend less time, because, you know, I find time as a resource. I consider time to be a resource. And so you want to spend it well, which is also this whole work and reward stuff, you know, it's connected to that. And so if I can spend money to have more time, it's a bit like in games when you can like resource convert. Oh, I have a lot of wood. Oh, I barely have any stone. I can take some of the stone, or I can take some of the wood and turn it into stone somehow. A trade usually. You know, in games sometimes you can do that, and that's exactly what I want to do, but with time and money. Exchange some money for some time. The issue is that that's very much not easy. Like, how would you do that? And when it comes to finding a way to buy yourself favors in the algorithm, as I wrote, that sounds sketchy. So I don't think I will do that. However, that would be possible. The next one is pick a different type of content. I just read the one under it. It's insane. What? Okay. Oh, I accidentally read the one under it. Oh, you're not prepared for that one. The next one is pick a different type of content. Ooh, the next one. The one after this one. I'm trying to go for the Podrock. I'm trying to aim in on the Podrock. As I said, I've tried gameplay. I don't know what else I could try, because once more, my editing skills are... my initial word that I wanted to say was pathetic. I feel like that's a bit too harsh on myself. Maybe amateur. What's worse than amateur? They're not good, is my point. They are beginner, maybe. I don't know. I feel like many beginners are better than me as well. My point is, they suck. Okay? They suck. That word with that voice felt strange. Either way, they suck. They suck, okay? That's all that matters. They're bad. And so I don't really know what I could make. I could make gameplay, but then again, which game? Why? Like, there also needs to be an audience for it, which is often not the case. You know how it is. It's not like there are no podcasts around which you can listen to, such as the Joe Rogan, the I don't know, I don't know too many podcasts. I don't watch the Joe Rogan, by the way, or listen to it. I don't. But I know a couple more. the Joe Rogan talk to Smoshcast, no changed name, Smosh Mouth. I believe they made another one, Lunchtime with Smosh. Yeah, my point is, there are many podcasts, so I don't really know. It's not like this is the smartest decision wise, like if we look at the market, but this is the decision. I think this is something which I almost said get away with. I don't know why that's the word of today. What am I saying? I could make other things, but there are not that many other things I could make. And I also think that this is something which I could develop skills in, and that I could end up being pretty great. Ooh, the next one is pretty sick. Okay, before I answer this one, before I even say what it is, I want to once more remind you that I make no promises here today, okay? Anything can go any way. I may change my opinion in the future. Okay, the next thing I wrote down is become a predator. Now, I'm currently not planning on doing this, but we'll see in the future if I change my mind. The next one is tell stories. Ooh. My initial reaction was, I could see myself doing this. This doesn't sound too bad. But remember, I am Dogrock, not insert name. And so if I tell a story which insert name experienced, some, or rather a lot of people, will be able to figure out which connection insert name has to Dogrock. And I don't want that. I actually, this is a little insight, especially for those of you who both know insert name and Dogrock. I think that too many people know the identity of Dogrock. I'm fully serious right now. I think that too many people, I have taken too many risks. Granted, I have taken few risks. I want to point that out. I've tried to be quite protective of myself. But I think that I've taken too many risks. Not kidding. Fully serious. Changing your headphones after that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that there are people out there that if it wasn't morally questionable as well, obviously, to make them forget that they know who insert name's connection is to Dogrock, then I would want that. There are people I want to forget. There are people that I wish could forget Dogrock's identity, my identity, like the connection. Either they know one or they know the other. But yeah, there are some that I wish did not know both. Yeah, that suddenly got very dark. And yeah, and that's the problem with telling stories, that some people would figure out there. It didn't get dark, it just brought down the mood a bit. I'll bring the mood up a lot with the next one, called Actually Become a Furry / Femboy. Now, I'm not gonna look at this emotionally. I'm gonna look at this objectively, okay? I think at least becoming a femboy will give me a lot more views. I'm not kidding now. I think that it would bring in the views. What else is there to say about it objectively? I objectively don't think, which is just a long way of saying my opinion is, that I probably wouldn't make the best femboy, especially not when you can't even see my face. That makes it sound like my face is the face of a femboy. It very much isn't as well. There's very little about me which says femboy. I'm not entirely sure how that entire thing started, but it has. And I do think it would get views, but I don't think I will do it. And furry is actually a harder no than femboy, because furry is more, being a furry is more about community than anything else. I feel like the furry community. Insert pants a hat clip.
Boy, bruv, just moved into the neighborhood, looking for a cup of sugar.
Quick, run! This man is a furry. He's gonna you.
Don't make fun of the furry community.
Why not?
If they can afford a $2,000 fursuit, they can afford a $10 pipe bomb in my mailbox.
Pretty awesome that I can do that, right? That's the power of editing, and that's the power that I don't have, even though I just used it. What I'm saying is, it's about community. Yeah, and I'm not part of that community, and I don't think I'd fit in. Now certain people may go, oh, but I can make you fit in or whatever. Not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm not looking for a community, really. I'm not really doing that, and I don't think the ideal community for me would be that community either. So that why did I put that? I should be less serious. And so here's well, it didn't really work, because the next point is immensely serious, as you are about to hear. Just do better. And my answer is I don't know. I'm trying, more or less. As I think I made quite clear in this, there are certain things that I feel like I could do, certain things that I do not feel like doing, and certain things that I am more or less planning on doing, and many things that I don't know. Now, I actually came to a conclusion with all this. Saying all these things out loud makes me think this less than I said in the beginning, which I actually think I talked about in the beginning, like, oh, will I think about this less or more? And my conclusion is that I am the yandere dev of podcasts. Now, if you don't know what yandere dev is, I've forgotten. Well, I haven't forgotten, because I did see like one or two long ass commentary videos, which were well made. Granted, I will at least link the channel, I think, because I'm not sure if I watched both videos. I think I'll link the channel and maybe not the videos themselves. Also good videos. I don't really know the channel, but I watched the two videos because I got curious. And I was like, that's unfortunately, I am unfortunately yandere dev of podcasts. I don't think this as much as I did when I wrote it, but it is pretty much the case, to be honest. I am pretty much the yandere dev of podcasts. As in, whenever anyone comes with a suggestion, I say, no! Well, that's not really what he did at all. He rather took too many suggestions, and yeah. That's honestly surprisingly complicated, that entire story, I think. Yeah. But I somehow find it somewhat accurate that I am the yandere dev of podcasts. And with that, good people, I will leave you again. For how long will I leave you? Well, I don't know. It's another one of these, I don't know, situations. I am hoping to see you relatively soon. I don't know when the second season will release. I was hoping, my initial hope was that it would release at the end of this summer. That's when it would begin rolling out. But obviously it didn't. Which I don't know how I feel about. It's one of these situations where you never know what would have happened if you did that. Maybe you just would have wasted a ton of hours. Maybe it could have gone either way. But it's a thing that happened. Since it didn't release this summer, I want to say that it could release next summer. I want to say that it could release this winter. But in all honesty, I have no idea. I really, really don't know. And as it has been previously, I am even less in a position to make promises about the future than I have been in the past. Because of all sorts of things. I don't need to get into that, but yeah. Good luck. It feels like I'm saying goodbye, like this is not my last video or something, which very much is not the case, I hope. I even have things recorded. I have almost an entire season recorded already. So I sincerely hope that this is not my last video. This is not me signing off for the last time. But it could be. And if it is, good luck with everything, everyone. I know you can make it. Even if I possibly gave up on this. Once more, this is not my plan, but we'll see. You never know, is what I'm saying. If I give up on this, know that I will not give up on everything I will do. There will be something else I do some other time, which will go way better than this. But this is Dogrock signing off, I suppose. See you in the next video, hopefully. Sincerely. See you in the next video. Hopefully.